Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look again at the Versus series. Today we're going to take a look at if a non-legendary team can beat a legendary team, and not any legendary team. We're going to have here the top 3 Pokemon for the Open Master League against some non-legendary Pokemon. The Xerneas, by the way, is actually the top number 4, but the number 3 spot is actually a non-legendary Pokemon that we have to use here, of course, already as well, which is going to be the Metagross. Metagross is currently the number 3 spot on the ranking on PvPoke for the Open Master League, and so I was kind of hopeful. If there's a season where the non-legendary team could be better than a legendary team, it most likely would be this season. What we're going to have here otherwise is the Florges, which is most one of the strongest non-legendary Pokemon currently in the game as well, being quite nice and neutral, especially as a Sasop. I really like this Pokemon as a Sasop. And then we're going to have in the back here the Gyarados. Gyarados is an interesting Pokemon, something that you don't see all the time. The main reason why I have it here is because I was too scared of Ho-Oh and I was too scared of Rhyperior. Rhyperior was quite common the last time I played, at least. And Ho-Oh is also quite common, both of which are going to be beaten by the Gyarados. In the first battle, we already won. So it's 1-up for the non-legendary team. The legendary team here is again the number 1, the number 2, and the number 4 spot in this case, because I just didn't want to double up on the Metagross. That was kind of the point here. I want to have the expensive team and I would have the cheap team. One is costing, must say around €250 here, this team, if you don't have any passes stored up. And this is going to be like basically a 0 team versus €250 team, which is maybe even the title then. Like it's going to be interesting here if this team is going to be actually allowing you to win with that a bit easier. If it's a pay-to-win meta here generally, we have the best Pokemon basically here, the best of the best. We have the Zacian, we have the Palkia with the wrong moveset. We're going to have Fire Blast here, but this could be actually in the current meta also the right moveset, because honestly, Fire Blast is such an interesting move. It's such a good move to run, because you can of course hit those Zacians as well with it. But here we're going to have close combat, landing against the opponent's Dialga. We're going to get the shield here, and I'm just going to let the move go. I want to win this battle here with my Xerneas. As we see the charge move coming in, Xerneas is going to now swap out into the Dialga again. And so the €250 team here is very likely going to be able to win this battle. Well, let's see. Actually, I have to play it a little bit differently. I have to zero bubble the Moonblast in order to get as much energy as possible still, because I need to outspeed the opponent's Dialga to 2 charge moves. And if I go for the Moonblast and just knock them out here, I would have no chance of doing that. But like this, I have 2 close combat stored, and as long as I get both of them off, I will be able to win this battle, and I will be able to win this battle. So it is a 1-1 so far between the non-legendary team and the legendary team. So, and here we start to kinda see the issues. We're going to have the Ho-Oh against us, but in comes Lunala. Okay, that could be playable. I would love to realign, but of course the Ho-Oh already has 2 fast moves as well advantage, which can be a bit tricky. And you see me here going for 2 Chilling Water straight away. Now, why do I do this? Because I know that 1 Moonblast is not going to be enough to knock them out after 1 Chilling Water. And I know that if I go for 2 moves here, I can actually still take the Shadow Ball, which I would have not been able to do otherwise. Issue is, with the new move update, basically, they actually do outspeed us. If they did still have the Shadow Ball of last season, they wouldn't. And also, they still outspeed me here to get to another move. And so we are very far behind in this battle. We are very, very far behind in this battle. I have at least a move stored there, and I can now go into my Gyarados, but not before I will get out the opponent's Xerneas. And while Gyarados is Shadow, which I just built for this video, by the way, 500,000 Stardust for just this Gyarados, if you appreciate it, of course. And if you want to see more of this type of series, then feel free to leave a like on the video. That's the best way of showcasing and like showing me on what you're interested in. If you like the series, again, there are different kind of things I can do with it as well. Let me know down below on what you want to see next. But yeah, this generally is a very interesting team here, and Gyarados is a bit stronger as a Shadow. And as you're gonna see here now as well, we're going to have to shield here, and I was swapping out straight away because I knew that the opponent still had a Brave Bird start on the Ho, and I thought I would just go for the combo play and try to catch the move, but sadly this didn't work out, and with that we're going to sadly lose this battle here as well. I feel like if I caught the move, maybe there was still a chance, but to be fair, I don't think there was actually a chance to win this battle, so good game to the opponent. We can move on to the next one. Of course, now we're going to have the expensive team here again. And so far, we are 1-1, but now the expensive team can actually go 1 ahead. So let's see now if this is going to happen. I decided to use a shield here, the close count comes through, and I expect them to swap out eventually. They swap out into a Zygarde, and that is a big mistake, because what do we have in the back? Literally one of the hardest answers to this Pokemon. The only harder answer to this Pokemon would most likely be Togekiss, as we resist everything twice basically with that Pokemon, but here we still resist the fast move. We are still going to be able to do a lot of damage against the opponent as well, and while we're not going to be able to go for the full farm down, we got the attack drop onto them, so this move is going to do even less, and maybe can actually go for the full farm down. I swap out TH into the Palkia. Let's see what they're going to go into. They go into the Zacian. I go straight for my Fire Blast, expect them to no shield, thinking it's just the Aqua Tail, and yes, goodbye Zacian. It's now only the Zekrom left, and you can even go for the Aqua Tail spam. If they let the move go, they're just going to put themselves into farm down range for my other Pokemon, and that is totally okay for me. I would rather keep most of my shields for the Xerneas here now, even though we have only a few HP left, but the opponent just kind of gives up here anyway. And we have now Elite for the more expensive team. Just for our other team to get completely hard-walled again. And this is kind of awkward because, like, what can I really do here? Like, 2 times Ho in the lead would have been great for the other team. We would have a very positive matchup for the other team with that. But now we're going to get out the Morris, a Pokemon that, honestly, I was kind of mad because it was only released like for a limited time. Like nobody had like the XL candy unless you put the XL candy into it, the rare XL candy basically. And it was really, really strong in the beginning, and now it's didn't get changed at all, and it's just so much worse. It doesn't like see any play anymore. And here even Florges was able to beat this while still even getting another move off, which now puts the opponent's Ho-Oh very likely into Aqua Tail range. As you see here as well, the attack drop is going to happen. The shield's coming up, and we have the Brave Bird coming in next, where we're going to have now the swap out into the Metagross, so we just get hard-walled. Like, I cannot do anything here. Like, this is not even fault of the team. This is just a hard counter matchup towards this thing, and this is something that is just going to be happening here as well. Oh, look at this. We can actually have a little bit of a talk now, because now, of course, the game just freezes on us. It's never going to be scientifically proven here on which one is better in any of those videos, because it depends on what you face. There is no kind of consistency on what you're going to encounter, and as you're gonna see there as well, if you get hard-walled, of course you're gonna lose. Speaking of getting hard-walled, we have the same now on the other side. So we have now the option for at least the expensive team to go 2 ahead and not just 1 ahead. But let's see how this is going to go for this team. As we see, there's the Fusion Bolt from a Zekrom, still doing a lot of damage actually against Zacian. But what we can do is we can go for a double close combat, which will force, hopefully, both shields. So we get them really low, we see what's going to happen here. We're going to get both shields from the opponent, and that's kind of fine. But what I see here is I could, in theory, most likely realign. And I do think that this is kind of necessary for me to realign, because of what we have here is now a scenario where I don't want to have Primarina aligned against my lead, but they sub onto their own Zacian, and this is going to make it all a little bit more awkward actually. Because I get the damage off here, but in hindsight I actually should have never went for the move. Because what I forgot is that I have Fire Blast on my Pokemon here, and as long as they don't run Play Rough on the Zacian, which usually people don't do because then they have to give up close combat, I would have been able to take a hit there and just go up to the Fire Blast, get the most amount of use out of my Palkia, and I would have had still the move on my Zacian in order to just knock out anything. And so, what we see here now is that I still try my best and I still have a chance here of winning this battle, but trust me, this battle would have been so much better if I just had a little bit more of brain and I would have played it a bit better, because here, while I still get to the move, it now depends on if I can outspeed the other Pokemon, the Primarina, to the charge move, but I cannot. And this is going to be now a loss with that, because they can farm down everything. And this was super avoidable, absolutely avoidable, if I just played it out correctly, which I didn't do. And that is my fault. And I will take that, to be fair. I will take that, because this would have been another win if I just did play it better. So it's still 1-2, but maybe the non-legendary team can take one back now? Let's find out. We have the Media Mesh coming through. This is going to be an interesting one, as the Media Mesh is going to get the shield from the opponent. We will see here that this is going to be a matchup that we generally win, but the opponent can get out of here with a bit of damage, and actually more damage on us than on themselves, which is kind of interesting because we're not running Bullet Punch. In comes Lunala. I hope for a shield. Please shield. Shield here, man. They do shield. And why I was hoping for that is because I have the Crunch here, which is double super effective from the Shadow Gyarados. And trust me, this is going to hurt. And trust me, Shadow Gyarados is the weakest Pokemon of this team. I could see scenarios where different Pokemon could work out better in the back, like Primarina, like Rapiria, like the Togekiss could all work a little bit better than the Gyarados. I had high hopes in Gyarados, but I feel like the damage output of this Pokemon in the meta that we're currently in is just not strong enough. And that's my honest opinion towards it. Here we see a close combat, we still survive though, and we can still go for a charge move against the Reshiram, which is nice because this charge move is going to put them into the range where one Moonblast is all it takes to knock them out, and this is exactly what I wanted. So Gyarados did actually a very good job in this meta. As a full, like, no legendary team here, we were able to completely destroy the opponent here so far, which is great. And so at this point, it should be back to 2-2. And let's take a look now at the next one. We're going to have here battle number 4 for the XL team. This, like both of them are XL team. The legendary team here, of course, the expensive team. In this case, money-wise expensive. We're going to see here that the opponent goes for a charge move. And this is going to be the close combat. I let the move go, and I have the Fire Blast at the same time. Please land again. Bye-bye. I honestly could have had the chance of fire blasting 3 or 4 Zacians in this video already just with the Palkia. I was just showcasing how strong actually the Fire Blast Palkia moveset is after the change to Dragon Breath. I actually was using it previously before they changed to Dragon Breath. But now it's actually so much better because I have a Shundo Palkia and it doesn't have the correct move because you're incapable of getting this move on a Pokemon, like on a Palkia that didn't get caught already with a move, which I find super stupid. Like, honestly, I just don't understand the reasoning for that. It makes 0 sense to me. But yeah, it is what it is, and so I have to resort onto Fire Blast here, but honestly, in a lot of cases, it's not bad. And now, even with a nerf to Spatial Rend, it might be even stronger. Okay, so it's 2 and 3 so far. 3 wins for the expensive, 2 wins for the cheap team. Can the cheap team kind of get a win back here to at least have a potential draw, as there's one more game left for both kind of sides? We're going to have the Aqua coming in here. This is fine. In comes the Chilling Water against the Zacian. This is going to be interesting because Zacian is a Pokemon I kind of want my other Pokemon up against. Zacian's moves are all going to be resisted against the Gyarados, which is kind of cool, even though the fast move is double resisted as well. Aqua Tail spam is kind of real, but here this is the worst matchup that I can possibly could imagine. But I will be able to go for a medium air shield still with my Metagross, get the shield, and they are swapping out here, which is unfortunate because they have the Ho-Oh in the back, and I really can't catch a breath here. Like, honestly, this is just tough work. I just have 3 Ho-Ohs. They were all basically against this team, not even against the other team. I just had a Ho-Oh against this team where we have, just a bit of a weakness against it. This is something that I just want to kind of mark here as well. I do feel like that this non-legendary team itself actually has potential to win a lot of games in the Open Master League. I do think that this team is actually amazing. I think this team works out really well. And here, spoiler alert, at this point, we're quite far behind in this battle that I am not going to be able to win this one. And so we went 2 and 3 with this team, but we lost, I think, every single time against the Ho-Oh, which you wouldn't encounter as often as I did just with this team here itself, as we haven't seen, I think, a single Ho-Oh with the other team. And so far, the non-legendary team is still worse than legendary team. That's easy to say. And that is also, I guess, fair because a lot of people spend the money onto like those things. Nobody forces you to play Master League. But yes, legendary Pokemon in the Master League are generally considered to be stronger, in my opinion. Like, they are just kind of on a different level compared to the other one. It is possible to win battles. It's possible to have good sets and a good team with a no legendary Pokemon. But it is basically impossible to be as strong as this team here, for example. And this is like the kind of best team that is a full legendary from the ranking itself. I didn't even try to do like anything crazy fancy and be like, oh, I built the crazy team. I would have a Pokemon that's more expensive generally, which is going to be Ho-Oh as a Shadow, which I have built, but that's my only Shadow legendary that I've built. And so I didn't really want to introduce this one because I don't really like the Pokemon either. And so I just went for the best Pokemon on PvPoke. And this team was fantastic. Like, this team was absolutely fantastic. It's going to be that this, as you see here already, this is going to be a very nice win. Actually, my girlfriend was playing at this point here because I had to go to the door to bring some stuff in. And she is going to be able to very likely win this battle here at this point as well because there's nothing the opponent can do anymore. And we see here as well, we're going to win this final one. And hopefully you enjoyed this one. Honestly, this one would have been a 5-0. I've played the one battle better, and this is totally fine. Hopefully you enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.